This is the worst thing about being back in Florida. Stupid lizards everywhere. How do you get rid of those things? I don't want them jumping on my toes. I don't know why I'm so scared of lizards. Go, go, go. Not on the chair. Go. Get him with the ball. Shoot. There he goes. I don't know why I hate lizards so much. It's like they're just the creepiest little things. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? If you can't tell, Steph and I have made it back to Jacksonville, Florida. We're actually in between places right now, so we've just been staying at this sweet Airbnb for the last couple days, and we've got another few days left here before we go back to Canada. We've got a nice pool back here, and then the Airbnb is actually on like a little creek. They have like a boat over here that apparently you can use, a couple little paddle boats and stuff, but I don't know if I'm gonna get into any of that. But yeah, I've been kind of like taking a bit of a break, just sort of relaxing, getting caught up on some like reading material, some podcasts. I actually just finished listening. I'm gonna show you guys. It's called Vegans, Are They Right? And it's by the podcast Science Versus, which is honestly one of my favorite like mainstream science communication podcasts. I love that one and Skeptic's Guide to the Universe. And this was actually pretty good. I think it was like kind of a bit of just like a cursory glance at everything related to veganism, but their main takeaway I think was that veganism is better for the environment, and if you don't eat meat, you probably won't get sick as long as you're making sure you have enough vitamin B12. That was one that they kind of highlighted as a pretty heavy risk for deficiency amongst vegans, but they recommended getting a B12 shot if you do happen to be vegan. And then also, on the topic of veganism, this podcast just launched, which is the Joe Rogan Experience one. So there's a debate between Vegan Gains and Jeff Nippard. No, just kidding. There's a debate between Dr. Joel Kahn and Chris Kresser. I actually don't follow either of those two guys, but I'm sure it'll be good. I do like listening to Joe Rogan's podcast. But according to one of my vegan friends, they actually both did a pretty bad job. But if you guys did listen to that one, let me know your comments below. I'm looking forward to kind of like picking it apart and seeing what they have to say. But anyway, I'm gonna give you guys a super quick tour of the place. So here is kind of the outside area. Oh, and by the way, I feel like I should say we are probably gonna be doing a little bit of time travel in this vlog because I haven't uploaded the last of the Meadows videos yet, but I'm gonna upload that one this weekend. I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of vlogging while I was here and show you guys how I've kind of gotten back on track with my regular training. So this is like the main area. It's really fun when you travel to like stay in a spot that I feel like is representative of the area. Like this place actually feels like a Jacksonville home to me. So when Steph and I go to Hong Kong, we're gonna get a place that like is representative of Hong Kong, so it feels like you're actually living in the area. That's been super fun. And then up here, sorry if you guys are getting dizzy. Okay, so up here, there's this like creepy kids room in here that we try to avoid. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I don't know why, it just creeps me out in here. We avoid this place. Over here is our bedroom, so the master suite. And then there's a little balcony out here. So then this is that pool area where we just were. And then, yeah, that's the creek out there. And then out here in the driveway, I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually a basketball hoop right out there. You can't see it. I'll show you guys that after. And so then over here, we've got the master bathroom, and there's me. So this is the current physique. I feel like everything is actually coming in pretty nicely. I've got the scale here. I haven't weighed in like a week or two at least, and I just weighed before I started vlogging here. And I think I was 162. I'm gonna hop on there now just to show you guys. So yeah, dead on 162. And that's actually after having eaten like, well, I had a protein shake. So I feel like first thing in the morning, I'm probably around 160, maybe in the high 150s, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm just gonna set up the camera here and give you guys a quick physique update because it's been a while. I'm gonna give you guys a few poses, go through those. Before I do that, I'm actually gonna throw on, Steph always has this like tan cream kicking around. So I find if I put this on before I pose, it just looks so much better, man. Been going out in the morning in the sun for like an hour or so since we've been here, and I feel like I've gotten a little bit of color. Just having a tan can make such a huge difference in terms of like how your muscles look and how they pop. Okay, so front double bicep. Side chest. Side tricep. I'll do a few back shots. So here's the back. Back lat spread. Back double bicep. Most muscular. Do quarter turn pose. And so yeah, so my physique and everything like that, I actually planned on ending the cut a nice while ago, but I felt like for whatever reason, I wasn't really looking quite as lean as I wanted to, and I'm not cutting for anything in particular, but I find if I get past a certain threshold of leanness, then when I actually do start to refeed and fill back out, everything just looks so much better. And I wanna make sure, like over the years of cutting, I've kind of learned where that threshold is, and I really wanna make sure that I get there before I start to fill back out. So I think that if I just drop another couple pounds, I'll be pretty much where I want to be, and that's really a moving target. I actually expected that I would get there by like the low 160s, but then I got to the low 160s and I'm not quite there. So I don't know what to blame that on, but in any case, I'll just keep going until I get where I need to be and then start refilling and refeeding back out from there. However, I will say my training and everything like that has been going great, and I think that's because I've been doing this I've been doing this quote unquote cut so slowly to the point that I've basically just been maintaining for the most part while tightening up. And I feel like since I've really gotten my training in check, am I visible here? Since I've really gotten my training in check, there's that basketball hoop, by the way. I have seen a bit of body recomposition. My goal from here is gonna be to finish out this cut, probably get down to like 157, 158, and then begin refeeding from there. And I think that that's when I'll really start to look my absolute best. I kinda wanna shoot some hoops. Actually, don't know if they even have a basketball here. I'm gonna check in the garage. This is like lizard utopia out here. I avoid that at all costs. Steph makes fun of me for being so scared of lizards, but we didn't have those growing up. All right, let's see here. Oh, there's probably a code, hey? They probably keep that locked. Show you guys the property from the front. This is kind of what it looks like. It's definitely too big for Steph and I, but we've also had Steph's mom staying with us while we're here, and it's just nice to have all that space and like the big theater room and the basketball court or basketball hoop if I could use it. So it is 12:15. Just look at all this carnage. This is left over from Steph's cheat day yesterday. These are the best sugar cookies. I had like 2 of these yesterday, I think. And then these Pop-Tarts, I had a half one of these. This is probably the best flavor of Pop-Tarts I've ever had, I'm serious. They did a really good job with the pumpkin pie. If you like pumpkin pie, you'll love these. I've actually been not really doing intermittent fasting, but in a way, like I'll get up, I'll have 2 scoops of the vegan protein powder, and then I won't eat until I start to feel my hunger actually kick in, which is usually, now that we're on Eastern time, around like 2, maybe 3 in the afternoon. And then I'll have my pre-workout meal and then we'll go train. So that's probably what I'll do again today. And I have been doing intuitive eating, which I feel like works really well for me. Like on a cut, it's super convenient because my appetite actually isn't very strong. So it's quite easy for me to delay eating and then just kind of eat according to when I'm hungry, and I have no problem stopping when I'm full, but I've done a ton of videos on that. So anyway, I'm gonna get back in my spot and put on that Joe Rogan podcast. If I do finish it, I'll let you guys know my brief thoughts, and I'll check in with you guys after. Okay, so guys, we're on our way to the gym. Got my partner in crime back over here. Back. First, I wanted to share my quick thoughts on that Joe Rogan debate. So I actually watched like the first half an hour of it. Oh, or I listened to like the first half an hour, and then I just had other stuff to do, so I didn't finish it. But so far, it actually seems pretty good. So far, I'm giving the upper hand to the Kresser guy, the paleo guy, even though I'm not a follower of paleo. Dr. Kahn, I think his name, the vegan guy, started off with a few things. I wish he would just be a little bit more precise with his language. Like he was saying stuff like I don't eat any sugar, or no, he said, I don't eat sugar. And it's like, I know what he means by that, but when people say that, they're usually villainizing sugar in a way. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, he's vegan, so he obviously eats fruit, but anyway, you'd think that someone with that level of expertise would be a little bit more precise. And then I thought the Kresser guy, I think I'm saying his name right, made a few really good points about the limitations of epidemiological research. The first point that he made was that dietary recall is really, really bad in these epidemiological studies. Like, people can't even remember what they had for lunch yesterday, let alone over the past several years. And people who are overweight or obese tend to be the worst at guessing their energy intake in particular, to the point that in some of the largest databases that we have on nutrition, people who are overweight and obese are reporting eating caloric intakes that wouldn't sustain an elderly, frail old woman, according to like their requirements. So people are just really bad at reporting energy intakes. Also, there's something called the healthy user bias. Basically, because things like, say, red meat have gotten a negative stigma over decades, people who are generally unhealthy, so who do things like smoke or don't exercise, also tend to do other unhealthy things like eat red meat. So it's really difficult to tease apart causality in that sense. And then also he pointed out that relative risks in nutrition and this nutritional data are really low. So he referred to the World Health Organization's statement that 50 grams of processed meat eaten daily across a lifetime increases risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. And then you see all the clickbait headlines coming out, it increases your risk by 18%. But what they often fail to mention is that this is a relative increase. So given all the epidemiological factors, the likelihood of getting colorectal cancer is something like 4%. So it's not an 18% increase from 4. It doesn't bring it up to 22%. It's a relative increase. So it brings it up to something like 4.7%. So just rounding that up, that would be a 1% absolute risk increase. So if you had 100 people, that's one person who might develop colorectal cancer as a result of eating processed meat every day. And that isn't something that totally omits the risk factor. It definitely is there and it's legitimate, but these numbers are really small to the point that it's difficult to separate them from just fluke or chance findings. So anyway, those are just some limitations on that observational epidemiological research that you often see cited in defense of certain nutritional interventions. And that epidemiological data is just data that doesn't actually have an intervention. It just follows people and follows what they're doing over a long period of time and then looks for trends. It's not that you should throw it out altogether, but just you need to be aware of its limitations. Anyway, I thought that was one really good point from that podcast, and it so far has been worth listening to, so we should finish that together maybe.
I know, I had to catch up. Yeah. I listened to the science verses on vegan.
Oh, did you? I showed that one here too. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was really surface level though.
Yeah. Which much like most of the episodes.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna go hit up this back workout. Actually it's a pull workout, so I've got week 2, day 3 on the menu today. So I'm gonna check in with you guys in the gym and show you what I'm up to. Hey, shout out to this LA Fitness right here too. They are the best.
They are the most welcoming gym we've ever been to, I think.
Generally speaking, sometimes we do, I wouldn't even say sometimes, I'd say most of the time we run into issues filming, and I've been filming from 1,000 subscribers up to now almost 1 million subscribers, and it doesn't get any easier, believe it or not. But this gym is so good and they let us do it. So I'll put the address of the gym up here if you guys are in Jacksonville and would like to check it out, because I really do appreciate that. Being in this gym, I've been doing about 5 to 10 minutes of just basketball as a warm-up, and then I'll get into everything. But I actually have to be careful not to overdo it. I love playing so much that sometimes I'll let the warm-up go on too long and then I feel winded. So 5 to 10 minutes is the sweet spot. I'm gonna make one more shot, and then I'm gonna jump in after the workout and take you guys through everything that I did. I'm just gonna go through the workout raw. Here we go.
Woo! I'm impressed. That really was just one take, I promise. I just walked in here, so I'm actually impressed.
Every other time.
Sometimes I would be like, all right, take 3, but no, that was the first one. Cut. Cut.
All right, so guys, we just finished up with the workout, and now we're actually headed to grab a bite to eat with Steph's mom. So we're going to get some Thai food, but I just wanted to quickly take you guys through the workout. So this was pull day number 1 for the week, and I'm on week 2, day number 3. So if you guys have my program, you'll know how this goes. But very quickly, the first exercise we did was a 1-arm lat pull-in, and I did those for 2 sets of 15 to 20 reps. So here the idea is just to get a bit of a pump in the lats, kind of get the blood flowing, and these are just taken to an RPE of 5, so it's very light. And I like to crunch into the direction of the pull, really get a stretch and squeeze on my lats, and that's more or less just kind of like a warm-up technique. So the first main exercise of the day is a pull-up. So here I did 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps, and I have to do these weighted, otherwise it's just not challenging enough. And I normally have like a belt and like a chained belt that I use for adding extra resistance to these. I didn't have it today, so I improvised, and Steph placed a dumbbell between my legs, so kind of just like cross my ankles over and then let a dumbbell sort of rest there. And I was only doing 25 pounds because I really wanted to focus on full range of motion and good quality control on these. And they're only meant to be taken to an RPE of 8, so not pushing it too close to failure. And then also I try to maintain more of an upright back posture and not use too much momentum. So this is like the bread and butter of my back routine, these pull-ups. People will sometimes criticize my back training for saying, oh, you're doing too much pumping and just like isolation exercises and things like this. But on the channel, you often don't see the full big picture of my training. All else being equal, I would probably give a pull-up the upper hand to a pull down, just because you do tend to see more biceps involvement with the pull-up and then the same lat involvement. And if I had to guess, I'd say you probably do get a little bit more involvement of some of the assistance muscles like the teres major and some of the rhomboids as well, even though I don't know of any data showing that. But whatever the case may be, pull-ups are definitely harder, and so if you're a masochist like me, you might want to include them in your routine. Okay, up next was the pendlay row. So this is a movement that I've been doing for years and years. I do think it's one of the best movements for the mid back because it really does kind of lock you in and really prevent any kind of cheating, and that makes the movement more difficult. You can cheat row a lot more than you can do with a strict pendlay row, and I really learned this on my second set. So on my second set, I went up from 135 up to 185, and I just found the weight to be a little bit too heavy. I found I was kind of getting a little bit too much body English at the top. I was driving my chest down into the bar rather than strictly bringing the bar up to my chest, and that's generally a bad sign. So checked my ego on this one, stripped it back down to 155, and then I was able to do a really strict, clean 10 reps, or it might have been 12 reps, with a full reset on every rep. So with these, you want to keep a pretty flat back angle, so not completely parallel to the floor. You want to brace your core and make sure that you're maintaining a neutral lower back. And looking back at some of this footage, I realized I probably could have kept my upper back a little bit more neutral as well. But in any case, as long as that lower back is nice and straight, then you're probably good to go. And you just want to pull the bar up to your chest, and then on every single rep, you want to reset it completely on the floor, and then initiate every rep from a dead stop. So pendlay row, fantastic exercise, been doing it for years. Really look forward to getting stronger on those as the program goes on. Then from here, it becomes a little bit more of like a pump style workout. So we kind of got the main heavy bread and butter out of the way. Now we're moving into a machine high row. So here we're doing sets of 10 to 12 reps. And here is where I start to employ that mind muscle connection. So previous to this, really focusing on my whole body technique and how I'm moving in 3D space. Now at this point, I'm starting to really hone in on squeezing my lats, squeezing my shoulder blades together, and really getting that strong mind muscle connection. After that, we're moving on to the seated face pull. So I actually like to do these half lying. And again, here you really want to think about pulling back with your rear delts. You kind of initiate out with your rear delts and then squeeze your shoulder blades together as hard as you can at the top. So you're gonna get your traps involved like that as well. And then you really wanna control the eccentric. And one thing that I've noticed from looking back at my footage on this that I've been doing too much is using momentum to kind of allow my self to hinge at the hips. So my upper torso comes up and closes and then goes back down. And you can probably see me do it on the first few reps here. I'll just skip back to the first first few reps. And that bit of momentum at the start can really take the rear delts out of the movement if you're gonna be initiating with those. So what you wanna do is kind of keep your back more or less stationary. So if it's gonna be a little bit upright or it's gonna be completely flat, that's fine. But what you don't wanna do is allow that hinging at the hips to initiate any kind of momentum for the duration of the face pull. Try to keep those tight. There I did sets of 20 reps, so good focus on squeezing, mind-muscle connection, etc. Then we finished off with some bicep stuff. So first up was this brutal superset of reverse grip easy bar curls and supinated easy bar curls. So the first thing you do is you knock out 20 reps with the reverse grip, and the idea here is to fatigue some of the other elbow flexors of the forearm, like the brachioradialis, for example, and then you want to flip over, so supinate, flip over your palms, and do another 15 reps, so that since all the other elbow flexors are fatigued, now the biceps are gonna kind of take over and handle the rest of the work. And if nothing else, if you don't buy that biomechanical stuff, your biceps will get a crazy pump from this, and your forearms as well. Like the vascularity going down my forearms and my biceps is really like nothing else after doing these. So if you've never tried them, give them a shot. Then we're finishing off the workout with dumbbell preacher curl, 3 sets of 12 on each arm. And I actually like to go heavy on this one. I find I can go heavy on hammer curls, and you'll see that I do use a little bit of body English on this one, a little bit of cheating, and that's okay because I feel like for the rest of the workout, I've been pretty strict with the form. And here I do like to go a little heavy, like to show off, flex in the mirror a little bit. So anyway, but the idea here, in all seriousness, you don't want to let your elbows come too far forward. You want to make sure it is, in fact, the bicep that's doing the curl. And you want to avoid resting your thumbs on the actual head of the dumbbell. So you want to try to grip it in the middle of the handle, and that'll really force your forearms to turn on as well. And then my last pull day, I actually missed out on a little bit of bicep work. We just had to cut the workout short for whatever reason. And if that ever does happen, what I'd recommend doing is just tacking it on to the end of your next pull workout. So if for whatever reason you don't finish the workout, make yourself accountable to the program and tack it on at the end of your next day. So that's what I did with a few of these Bayesian cable curls here, and that was a wrap. So that's that's it for the commentary. We're gonna go grab some food, and I'll show you guys what we get in a minute. All the Elton John fans are gonna be like, they just desecrated that song. All the Young Thug fans are like, it is okay. I actually think this is good.
They need some ad-libs.
They need to do a collab. They need a full-blown Elton John Young Thug collab. We need that.
Should get Migos on there. Yeah.
I don't know if you can notice this here. I'm trying to grow out my beard to be a little bit higher. Naturally, I have this super low beard line here, but it will eventually grow out if I give it time. So what I'm trying to do, I told Steph about this, is I'm gonna try to grow out, like, maybe, this is a maybe, I'm thinking about growing out like a big beard and like growing my hair out really long and making like just like a long hair, long beard look for the winter, and then like grow out the chest here.
You know we're gonna be in Florida for the winter. It's gonna be hot.
Oh, Florida for the winter. Maybe I won't do that.
Well, actually, it's not hot. I take it back. It does cool down in Florida. Like we're in the most northerly city of Florida, so
true.
It gets...
Let me know what you think. Is it worth it to go Viking mode, bear mode? Hair mode.
Are you bulking? Are you bulking with the hair?
Hairy mode.
A hair bulk.
I don't know, we'll see. When I turn on bulking season though, I wanna step up my beard game. Okay guys, so we're here at the Thai restaurant here with Stephanie and her mom. Stephanie actually just went to the bathroom. Say hello.
Hello. How are you?
So this is what I got for an appetizer. These are chicken satay skewers. Good thing about doing some intermittent fasting or intermittent-ish fasting is that you have a ton of calories left by the end of the night. So this is what I'm getting for my appetizer, and then I'll show you guys what I get for my main after this. Oh, and also I got a Thai beer over here. And this is Steph's appetizer.
Just magic. I have
She's got more. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, so guys, here's the main dish. I've got some red curry over here with some rice. Stephanie, what you got?
I got prick pao.
Okay.
It's just a chicken with like a basil ginger sauce. It's yummy.
Looks super good. And what do we got going on over here?
This is pad see ew.
Oh, pad see ew. Sounds good. Ooh, look at this. For once, I was the first one done. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen you eat that fast.
No, I was so hungry. And it was so good. Honestly, I would give this like a 9.2. 9.2 out of 10. which is really good.
You need to give it a 9.5 for an officer. It makes everything better.
Well, I was gonna say the only reason is because there's a crying baby over there. 0.8 knocked. A 0.5 knocked off the bat, and then it's not perfect, so I'm perfect. All right, guys, just got back to the Airbnb. I'm gonna go check out this DVD collection over here. Maybe flick on a video while I do some emails or something like that. I'm just gonna give you guys, just have a look at what they got here. This is like the quintessential DVD collection. It's just, I feel like everybody and their mama owns this exact collection of movies. What was it that I watched? Oh, I watched Lucky Number 11 last night. That was a really good movie. I think it was the first time I had seen it. So anyway, maybe I'll pick out something there. Click on a movie. I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the vlog, please leave me a like. Let me know if you like this kind of like first person type of vlogs from me. I know the production value wasn't the greatest ever, especially from those gym clips, but I may do. I'm just vlogging here on the little Canon G7X while Rashaun is in Kelowna, but I actually enjoyed making this video, so if you guys liked it, just let me know. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit up the button over here to subscribe. And I'll have a video over here of my last video, which was a Myth Bust Monday on the mind-muscle connection. I talked about that a little bit in this vlog, but that one goes through all the science, so make sure you check that one out. And I will see you guys all here on the weekend. I've got another vlog with John Meadows on the way, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys soon.